Jumping out the whip, shit cold. Watching my step ground froze. Most my days spent alone. Same with my bro, he knows. Ay, gotta pay dues. Walking in mud, you can check my.
Hey y'all, what's up? Welcome back to another video. Welcome to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Chanina. Hey girl, hey. So today is Sunday, you guys. Happy Sunday. And I am about to go straighten up the kitchen a little bit and then fix me a bacon, egg, and cheese sandwich because your girl is hungry and I just got off and I'm like starving. But anyways, happy Sunday. I hope you guys are doing wonderful today. Tomorrow is Halloween and the school has respectfully let us parents know today, do not send your kids to school tomorrow in no costume. Don't do it. Your kid will be sent back to the house if you send them with a costume or if you send them with any type of materials, any type of weapon lookalikes, you know, they ain't with the foolery at her school tomorrow, okay? Don't come up in there with your face painted, none of that. Just come as you in your uniform. So that's what they want tomorrow, which I have no problem with that. As a matter of fact, that's going to be one of the things that Olivia does today, because she always asking for something, which kids do, but she need to earn her keep, okay? She need to start pulling her weight. So she be asking for all these things and she needs to get back in the groove of earning her allowance instead of me just giving her money when she asks for it. You get what I'm saying? So today she's going to have a list of things to do to get herself prepared for the week. And it's more so not only for allowance, but it's more so that she can know what she needs to do, because she's a big girl now, you know, so she needs to start making sure that her school clothes are ready and making sure that she's prepared for the week. So anyway, tomorrow is Halloween and we aren't celebrating, so we don't celebrate Halloween. Halloween is something that I stopped celebrating as a kid. My mom, she used to take us trick-or-treating a couple times around the neighborhood or whatnot, and then, you know, back then, you know, I'm an 80s baby, so, you know, back then people was doing stupid stuff like razor blade and apples and messing with the candy and all that. You know, like, girl, I don't know why people are stupid. But anyway, so that was a wrap on that. And then we started doing, my mom would just buy us candy at the house and she took us skating a couple times. And that's really all I can remember. I was really young. And so I guess I've carried on not celebrating into my adulthood, even with my own daughter. Like, she doesn't, there's only been 2 occasions where she was in a costume. The first occasion, she was at daycare, and daycare fell on, Halloween fell on a weekday, just like it is tomorrow. And, you know, it's just a regular day at daycare. However, we, you know, were invited to dress up the kids. And I did. I bought her. I was excited. I was a new mom. I was trying to be an active mom and just going with the flow, you know, knowing on the inside that what I was doing was like not, I kind of felt like that was something that I wasn't supposed to be doing, but I just did it anyways. And so she had I tried to find something innocent, okay? So she was a teddy bear. And then the next time that she was in a costume, she was in kindergarten, so she had to be like 5, 6, something like that. and it was in kindergarten, and they had a little thing at a mall. And so I had a neighbor that wanted to take her grandson and wanted us to, she wanted some company, and wanted me to come with her or whatever. So it was cool. What I wasn't expecting to happen was for her to purchase Olivia a costume. I didn't ask her to do it. She just took it upon herself. I didn't even know she was going to do it until she literally, why every time I start recording, my phone rings. That's why I need a camera. Y'all don't know how many times I have to start over clips sometimes when I'm using my phone, because calls, text messages, all that stuff starts to come through, which is so weird because if I'm not recording, my phone doesn't ring at all. It's just, it never fails. But anyway, so yeah, I had no idea that she was even going to do that. She just, when she met me at my door, she she had a whole costume, ready for Olivia. So I let Olivia put it on. I forget what it was. It was like, I think it was like a fairy or something like that. Something she could put over her clothes. It wasn't anything that she had to take her clothes off to get into. It was just something really simple. I think like a little skirt or something. But anyway, so yeah, we ended up going to the mall, and both times, like I said, with the first time, I felt like that was something I was doing that I wasn't supposed to be doing. Um, like I've never felt that Halloween was like a cheerful type of holiday. Like I never really felt like that was something that we should actually celebrate in a sense, because anytime I think of Halloween, I think of all the evilness, and I never think of anything good, that happens. So I always subconsciously would think of it as like the devil's birthday or the devil's holiday. That's what I always thought of it. So I felt bad because I don't follow the devil, I follow the Lord Jesus Christ. So I did feel a way. I had like this weird feeling that I was doing something, or that I had done something I wasn't supposed to be doing. So I just don't. I probably overstep just watching horror films. I don't know, but I'm probably doing too much doing that. But yeah, so there's this trick or trunk at a church that's not that far away from here, and they've left like a flyer on the door saying that tomorrow they're going to have like this little shindig from 12 to 8, and Olivia wants to go, but we're not going to go. We just don't do the trick-or-treating thing. We don't do anything associated with Halloween. We just don't. Well, except for me watching horror films, but um that's generally something you can watch year round if they're airing it on TV. So I don't necessarily feel like. But anyway, but yeah, y'all, I've never been into it like that. But it's funny because the church, like I was saying, the church is having a shindig, and what I thought was funny about that is because a lot of churches, when I came to Atlanta, I noticed that a lot of churches was doing that, like having like a trick or trunk. And in my opinion, it's kind of like hypocritical in a sense, because the way I understand Halloween is really like not of God. You know what I'm saying? It's not anything that has to do with God. So it's weird that I started seeing churches do that. So that's what this church is doing, and we're not going. Um, but yeah, and then there's this video that came up in my YouTube feed yesterday, recommended, and it was titled Christians Before You Celebrate Halloween, and then it had some other stuff. So I was watching it, and man, I didn't even finish the video, and he said a whole lot in the first maybe 10-15 minutes of me watching it. And he got into the origin of Halloween, the Roman invasion, the bobbing for apples, how that originated, and how there was this lady who had apples, and people believe that she was like, I guess, a god or whatever, and that her apples would bring abundance and fruitfulness. And then he was talking about, so that's where bobbing for apples came from. But in a godly sense, there's no bobbing for apples. So bobbing for apples was only like an evil thing. They would it was almost kind of like making a deal with the devil in a sense. So, you get this apple and you're promised abundance and fruitfulness, but you basically gave me your soul in exchange for it. So that's kind of like, that was my perspective of how he was kind of describing it. And then he was talking about trick or treating and how that came about, and how that really wasn't candy. Like, it didn't start off as candy. It only became candy and commercialized in the way it's being commercialized now in the recent years. But a long, long time ago, they were actually trick or treating for pastries. And it was like the poor people would send their kids house to house for a pastry from the wealthy people or the rich people, right? Then he went into these little pastry cakes that people would put spells and stuff, or put some type of bad juju over it, and hand it out to the kids. So he went into that. He was talking about costumes and how that came about, and how it basically started when, because the spirits around this time of the year, it was led to believe that spirits walk the earth with humans, right? And so there was good spirits and bad spirits. So the good spirits would cover themselves up so that they can blend in with everybody else, so that the bad spirits couldn't figure out who was who and cause any harm to them, right? And that's where the costumes came about. So costumes is really like you blending in with the spirits, right? And then he was talking about how, as Christians, because that's basically what he was surrounded, like, as Christians, you shouldn't celebrate Halloween because this is what it means. So I am going to link that video down in the description. You guys can go check it out if you would like to. I just thought that it was a real interesting conversation, or the topics that he was discussing related to Halloween and how it came about, and what each thing pertaining to Halloween or within Halloween, what it means, from the costumes, the trick-or-treating, even witchcraft. He got into that, and he pulled up a couple of TikToks talking about, Halloween is the night for witches to communicate with their ancestors and stuff like that. Like, it was just so crazy. So the whole time I was watching this, I'm like, man, and churches are participating in this. And see, this is why I'm not really, like, I don't beat myself up for not going to church, because first of all, I have my own personal relationship with God, so I don't feel like I have to be at a church to have a relationship. And then another thing too is, I don't trust any of these pastors. There's a lot of false prophets walking the earth, okay? And they're all of the foolishness of a lot of these pastors is coming out of the dark into the light, because we're in the last days. So a lot of things that might have been in the shadows is now coming to the light, and it's just in plain view of the chaos that's happening in the world right now, because we are at the end of time. So yeah, I just don't trust it. I'd rather trust my own understanding of God and the Bible and things like that, and have my own relationship, because you just never know. Reaching over your back so I can.
My nose hurts. Whoa! Why don't you care?
I do. I'm just trying to get get this done. You know what I'm saying? So I'm focused.
The water is cold.
It's cold.
Why is the water cold?
Oh, my bad, dog.